So a lot of people are going to be seeing when I do what I'll call it Muay Thai, to respect the art of where I'm getting it from. I am not a Muay Thai instructor. My Muay Thai, so what you're going to see, my Muay Thai is going to be a little bit different. It's more, it's to help my JKD. If I'm in long range and I'm fighting, I'm not probably going to be doing Muay Thai techniques. I'll throw some in there maybe, but it's Jeet Kune Do. My hands are going to be a little bit lower. I'm going to be using JKD. That's why Bruce Lee kind of fought like that. Remember, it's scientific. It makes sense a lot of times. It's destructive. But you take pieces, really it's an individual thing. So some people may just take the plum tie to do a little bit of controlling, to throw an elbow, and that's it. Don't have the arms on the dummy, but it's just you're on the inside and a lot of trapping, right? Just to throw a knee and an elbow, and that may be it. But let's talk about some basic Muay Thai. For example, I'm just going to do a few here. When I do a switch kick, so I'll bring my hands up. They won't be out, but they'll just be up. Chin level, face level. So if this is my JKD, they'll be up, and I'll be more kind of narrow and bouncy, like Muay Thai. This is just how I train. If someone didn't know anything, let's say, and they want to know some basic Muay Thai, kickboxing, I would teach them stuff like this. So when I do my punches, I'm not doing perfect boxing, keeping my hand up necessarily. Really good power shots with torque, because that's, I still try to keep my JKD muscle memory kind of built in there. But when I do a hook, instead of doing like my combatives hooks, kind of like a jiao sao, I'll do a hook and bring it back, but I still elongate it. So for all my JKD people out there, see the circle, like jiao sao? Jab, cross, just a little bit of hip. I'll bring my hands, keep them low even. A lot of times they're even maybe like a vertical punch sometimes. But it's jab, cross, and I try to go around the shoulders. See the shoulder? So boom, boom. I'll still kind of go around. Why would I do that? Because when I'm doing my trapping in my, say, a jiao sao, I don't have to change it much. So if I'm doing any type of hooking technique, such as a hook, it's still going to kind of do a jiao sao motion. And same thing with like a switch kick. A lot of people will say just barely switch it, so it's quick, you're not off base for very long. When I do a switch kick, I'll pretty much switch leads to get more power. It's almost like I'm in a left lead and I'm trying to get that roundhouse kick. So if I do a cross, boom, I'll switch leads to get a little bit more power, right? Instead of just that really quick, barely switching like they do in Muay Thai. You get any Muay Thai instructor and you're doing this for a switch, he's going to tell you to just barely switch. Well, I switch. That's what the whole setup's for. So those are just some little differences with my Muay Thai is not going to be perfect Muay Thai, okay? And as far as clinching, I'm basically just coming in, trying to stay on the inside, and I'm really looking for a rear elbow, or if I can create space, let's say I'm on the outside of his arm. If I can create a little bit of space, that's all I'm looking for. If I miss with an upward elbow, I like this hook. So I'm on the inside controlling his arms. I miss, I like to hook and knee. And I'm really just kind of getting to the plump because I want to control him, let him go to throw the elbow. That stays in line with my combatives. So if I'm here and I knee, I grab the head again, and I'm just trying to do the basic on the inside of the biceps, but I usually want at least one arm on the head to control him, so he's not, this is more of a wrestling, okay, I'm here, now I'm going to throw a knee and an elbow, right? So in the clinch, mine, Muay Thai has got dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of clinch drills and techniques. Mine's pretty simple, maybe 10 or less. I'm here, upward elbow maybe to get him to flinch, and I'm looking for that. And I'm just grab the head again. Or I'm on the one arm or one arm. There's that, knee, knee. You know, it's pretty simple. If I get to an angle, then I'm just gonna trap and control the arm a little bit and See, there's really nothing here until I get that circle, and then this one would be the elbow I'm looking for, right? So his arm's here, I'm trapping it with my chest. I can do this or that. So I do a lot of sandwich elbows. So that's just some basic stuff that's my Muay Thai. And you'll see it's a little different because I try to keep it in line with my combatives and my Jeet Kune Do. So I don't have this full, Muay Thai program like if you went to official Muay Thai school or Thailand. It's what I did is I took the basics, say like a couple of dozen, and really make it even smaller, maybe just like 10 or less techniques, striking, combinations, and in the clinch, 5 to 10, and that's my Muay Thai. So when people see my Muay Thai on YouTube or something, it is different. It's more of a martial art version of Muay Thai, a combatives, self-defense Muay Thai, if you will, and not the sport. So don't critique it in thinking that I'm trying to be a Muay Thai fighter. I'm just training Muay Thai for the attributes to really make my Jeet Kune Do and self-defense better. So